Hello friends, I hope everybody's doing well. Today we're going to be working on this Echo pack blower. It's a PB500H and it belongs to one of my friends, and we discussed it, and we figured it was about 6 years ago he brought it in. And what was happening was when you were throttling it up, it was bogging. Just sitting like this, it would bog. It would bog anytime. And what I did, and I do remember this vaguely, I did disassemble the carburetor and I cleaned it out real good. And it seemed to work okay. But then 6 years went by, and now he started it up this year. I asked him about the gas. He says no, he just put fresh gas in it, which I took a quick look at the gas and it is pretty fresh. Now the problem being with this right now is when he dropped it off to me, we checked it, and he was right. Anytime you leaned it either to the right or the left, it would start bogging. But just sitting like this, it doesn't bog at all. Now another problem is this. I just warmed it up today, and I wanted to see if it would act up, and it seems to be okay right now. It bogged a little bit when I leaned it to the left, but what I plan on doing right now is we're going to go ahead and just check the basics on it. I'm going to check the fuel filter, make sure that's all right, make sure the fuel lines are okay. I don't know if I don't remember ever having something like this. It would either bog no matter what, or, throttle up fine. So I'm going to see if I can demonstrate it right now. I'm going to start it up and see if it has the problem. Like I said, I warmed it up already, so we don't have to do any warm up on it. And then we'll just get to checking the basics out on it. Okay, so it makes this even harder now, not to mention that it was bogging when you were tilting it. Now it's an intermittent problem. It's not acting up right now, but I'm still going to check the basics. And another thing I want to do today is, I think he's had this for about 10 years or so already. He keeps his stuff real nice. Yeah, you wouldn't even, by looking at it, you would think it was like brand new. But I think what I want to do today also is I want to check the spark arrestor, see what condition all that is in, and if it needs to be cleaned, we'll clean it up and everything, make sure it's all right. So let me get set up here, and the first thing I'm going to do, like I said before, is I'm going to check the fuel lines and the fuel filter and see if they are okay. Okay, so I tried to grab hold of the fuel line in there to pull the fuel filter out, with the fuel line. And I have one of these. They come in a primer and fuel line kit. You can buy it at Home Depot. But it's good for most of, I don't know, like Home Light, Craftsman, and whatnot. But for this blower here, it was too short. So what I did was I made one out of a coat hanger. I'll show you what I did to make that. But for now, we're going to pull the, I was able to grab it with this. So we'll pull a fuel line out and see what that looks like. This is it right here, if you could see it. It's simple to make, just take and cut your coat hanger and then put a curl on it right there. And I have like a little handle on it here, and you can pull the fuel line assembly out. Now I can't get the fuel line out. I don't know if I'm pulling on the wrong one. This can't be the return line. It's way too long. It's kind of stuck down there. Yeah, here it comes now. It was stuck at the bottom of the tank, which that is not too cool. Okay, so I got this out. The fuel line appears to be okay, but I don't know what the condition of the fuel filter is. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pull off the fuel filter here and see what that's like. I mean, that could cause something too if it's a little clogged, but there's some crud in there in the tank. I'm pulling out with my fingers. I wonder why this was stuck in there like that. I don't know. All right, I'll get right back to you. Let me pull the fuel filter off and see what that's like. Sometimes when these fuel filters are loaded with gas, like I'm having a real hard time. I can't even blow through it. If it was this clogged that I can't blow through it, I don't think it would have ran at all. Now I can. What it was the fuel filter was saturated with gas. But I am still having a hard time blowing through this. If worse comes to worse, I'm going to put a new fuel filter in it and make sure it's okay and just let them take it and try it like this. But we are going to clean out the spark arrestor. And I'll explain to you where that's located. It's in the exhaust and the muffler. And when we get to that point here, then we'll start filming again. I just shot some air through this fuel filter here. I think I actually blew up I blew it out. It's like blown up. If you see, you can see the spray coming out right here where my thumb is. I have to go in and get another can of carb cleaner. But right here, it looks like it busted at the seam. So let me see if I could grab a new filter for it, and we'll try that and see what happens. Okay, so I found this brand new filter here. I mean, it's a little smaller than the original one was, but it should do the job. It's a metal one. It's a pretty good one. So let me stick that on there and stick it back in the tank. The fuel line seems to be pretty good. You know, it's in pretty good condition. Although I didn't check it where it goes up to the carburetor, so we're going to have to check that out too. Make sure that's alright. It's got a little clamp on there. I was able to pull this off with the little clamp still on there, and it's on real good and it's not going anywhere. So we'll just shove this back down in the tank over here. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time getting this hose down back in the tank. I have to push it down with something. Alright, I'll be right back to you. I want to get that down in the tank really good where it belongs. Okay, so what I did was I got it, you know, to start going down into the tank again. And I took my little pry bar here, and I was able to just push it all the way back down into the tank. Now, when you're doing this and you're using any kind of screwdriver or anything, you want to make sure that the screwdriver or the pry bar or whatever you're using is very clean, because you don't want to contaminate the gas. So I got that all pushed back down in the tank. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take off the air cleaner, and I'll probably take off this back cover here so we can get to the muffler. Intermittent problems are sometimes a real pain, as you guys know, to figure out. you know. Like 6 months ago, that was an easy diagnosis. It just bogged all the time, you know. And we're not having that situation here with this one. So we're just gonna have to keep digging and see if we find anything more here. And oh yeah, there's 2 of these on here. All right, let's not break this cover. The air filter, it should be changed. I'll let him know that. He could actually change it himself. I'm gonna blow it out with some air and see if it cleans up some anyway. So far what I can see with the primer bulb, it's pretty good yet. You know, I was priming it to start it before, but we'll get this cover out of the way here. And that's held on by the these are Allen screws. I don't know what size they are though. So we'll get this out of the way here and see if we can see anything else going on here. We're just stuck on here. Yeah, it's stuck. Now we got that off. The fuel lines are intact, and they seem to be okay. I don't see anything wrong with that. The primer bulb is still pretty good. It does look a little bit mushy. Maybe I'll see if I have one for it and I'll throw that in for him too. Yeah, let me go ahead and see if I have a primer bulb for it. We'll put that in, install that. I don't know if I should bother to do a carb cleaning on this. I mean, I don't know what the heck is causing this really. I don't know. There's no carburetor adjustment here, even down in the thing here. I don't know. It's a Walbro, is it, or is it a? I don't even know what kind it is. All right, I'll get back to you in 1 second. Let me see if I have a primer bulb for it. We'll change that out. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to, before you disconnect the fuel lines, what I did was I took some carburetor cleaner, or brake clean rather, and I cleaned off the outside of the carburetor real good here before I popped the fuel lines off, because you don't want to introduce any dirt in there. So I did that, and this is the primer bulb that's on here. I think you can see it pretty good. I had this good used one here, and I just took some WD-40 and I cleaned out the inside and the outside real good on it. And I'm pretty sure that'll fit this, because this has like the smaller primer bulb on it. So we're going to go ahead and take that apart and see if we can change that out. Because this one's really starting to feel a little bit mushy. Look at that, I almost squirted the camera with the... This one's starting to feel a little mushy here, and this one seems to be pretty good. So let me get set up for that. We'll change that out real quick. Okay, so what you'll need for this is just a Phillips head screwdriver. You're going to take out these 4 screws. You get the retainer out. I wish I had a brand new primer bowl for it, but I'm fresh out of them. I don't do that many two-strokes anymore anyway. I used to keep, new primer bowls, fuel line, all that. I pretty much don't have anything left. As you see, we just do mostly... I do want to get back into doing the small engine repair stuff, but we've been just doing Gravely lately. So... you want to hold the red, there's a couple of pieces here, so you just want to loosen your screws all the way here and try to keep the whole thing from falling apart. I mean, it's not a big deal if it falls apart, but it fell apart anyway, so maybe we can take a quick look in here and see what's going on, if there's any dirt in there. This thing has like 4 pieces to go to it, and if I haven't done this for a long time, I'll forget how everything goes. So you just want to push this out here. I really don't want to damage it in case I got the wrong one. The new old one might be the wrong one. I don't know. So I want to try to be a little careful getting this thing out. Okay, hold it out. And let's see if this will fit. Yeah, this should fit and work out well. It's nice and sealed in here and everything, and it fits right through here. If you use a bigger one, you're not going to get it through, and it's probably going to leak if you do get it back together again. So let's go ahead and put this thing back together again and see if I can remember how this thing went together. This doesn't look too bad in here. In fact, I think I'm just, while I have it apart, I'm just going to spray some WD-40 here and here and try to clean it out some, I guess. Like I always say, whatever ports you see, just give it a squirt. I mean, you've gotten this far already and the thing fell apart on me, so you might as well clean it up somewhat. I have to get another piece of blue towel. I'm not seeing any dirt in here or anything like that, so I think it'll be alright. Yeah, it looks very clean. He takes care of his stuff. He always uses fresh gas, and his gas cans are always clean. I mean, he's very meticulous about his stuff. I'm going to just spray some WD in here. Everywhere else I can get. So it looks clean. So this one on here, I think. I forgot already how this stupid thing goes together. I'm pretty sure I got it right there. And this goes on here somehow. Let's see. Oh yeah, 2 pins are right there. It's got pins and everything in here sticking up, so you just want to put it back together the way it fits together. So it's not a big deal, really. And this faced down. You see, like, see this part here is different from the top where the fuel lines go. Fits down this way. and then you just stick your screws back in. Yeah, this primer bulb looks a heck of a lot better than the one I took out. So you should be alright with that for now. I know, while I was at it, I should have really taken it apart and cleaned it out thoroughly. But like I said, I don't see any dirt in there or anything, so that's why I really didn't want to bother. Leave well enough alone. Even though I got the fuel out of the fuel filter, like I said, when I was blowing it out, it was still a restriction. And then when I hit it with the air gun, like I said, it split open. So maybe the fuel filter was getting clogged. Like I said, this thing's got to be 10 years old, this machine. So I'll see if it's okay, and then I'll just let them try it. I hope the camera's still in view here, not like when I did the generator. That was really poor camera work there. Alright, so you're going to reverse procedure. You're going to hook up your throttle cable where it goes here. How's it go? It goes like this. You hook up your fuel lines, hook up your throttle cable that goes in here. It's a Z-bend deal. And I'm going to put it all back together, and we'll give it a try and see if any of the like I said, it wasn't even acting up before, but we'll see how it runs after I do all this. I think we're going to I don't know, let me decide on what to do about the spark arrestor. And now right here, there's a little spring here, right? I have to take this back apart. I don't know where the heck that came from. So, alright, I'll be back to you. I only saw one spot where this spring can go, and I put it in here. And guys, let me know if it's not where it goes. We'll see how it runs when I'm done, if it runs. Okay, so I figured I may as well show you this. When mounting this, there's a rubber grommet that goes on here. Make sure that's on there. Okay, and this gasket only goes one way, so the screws will pass through where the carburetor mounting bolts are. And I just wanted to show you that real quick. So to hold it all together, what I did was I took the backing, the air filter backing here, and stuck the screws all the way through. And this way it'll hold your gasket on here so you don't go crazy. And then you just want to mount it right back where it belongs. Okay, so I was having a problem getting the carburetor back on. Reason being the mounting gasket. I mean, you could take and you could just cut this, because what it is it has to fit. How the hell is this thing going now? It has to fit up into the into this piece here. Has to fit up there, and then you got to catch the screws. And I was having a hard time with, you know, my eyesight. Maybe you guys can get it done a lot quicker than I can. So while I was at it, I was going to take the spark arrestor. I was going to take this apart. These screws here won't even budge. And I think if I could get them to budge, they'll probably break off or something. So I'm going to have to let that go, you know. The screen is actually in here for that. So I can't get it to come loose. I don't think there's anything wrong with that part anyway, but I was just going to do it as a preventive maintenance thing for them. And, okay, so I'm going to put this cover back on and we'll start it up and see how it acts. Okay, let's see if she runs. I'll give it some primes, choke it. Are you kidding me? I gotta get a new primer, hold for it. I can't believe that split already. Alright. Friends, don't do that same stupid thing that I did. Just go get a brand new primer bulb. I have it right here in my hand. So I'm going to install that now. I know better. I don't know why I even did that. It seemed to be alright, it felt alright, but it's no good. Okay, so I found where that little spring goes in this port over here. So and also, since I had this apart for the second time, I checked the diaphragm. It's not crispy or anything, and it's working pretty good. So that's a good sign too. Okay, so I installed the new primer bulb. And now I throw the carburetor back on and put it all back together. I also bought another spark plug for it. It looks like Home Depot doesn't have their line of Echo anymore. They used to have a section with just Echo parts. I wanted to get an NGK plug, but the only thing I could get was Champion. So that's good enough. Champion's okay. Okay, so here's something I really went crazy working on the first one of these. It was years ago. I was sticking the air filter in this way, and then I was trying to put the air filter on, and it was getting pinched down here and everything, and it was driving me absolutely out of my mind. So what you want to do with the air filter is you just want to place it in here first and tuck it all in, and then you can put your cover back on. I just wanted to point that out while I thought of it. Okay, let's try it and see if it works. I already primed it because I wanted to make sure the primer was working alright. I'm going to leave the choke off. No, I'll choke it. Give it a little throttle. Take the choke off. Let it warm up a minute. Well, it's actually the same as before because it wasn't acting up. But I'll let him pick it up and try it and see what happens with it. But it was funny because when he first came in with it, it was doing it like crazy. He just tilted it a little bit, it would just bog like the carburetor was dirty. But like I said, I had the carburetor all apart, and I cleaned it while I had it apart. Gave it a quick cleaning, and we'll see what happens with it. Maybe it was that fuel filter. It could have been. Could have been, because it seemed clogged to me, even though I blew the gas out, and I still couldn't blow through it too good. But, all right. Well, you know what to look for when you get something that's bogging, at least, out of this. And if anything else develops with this blower, I'll just make another video. And we'll continue to see if we can pinpoint anything else wrong. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one, and stay safe, friends.